Hello, welcome or welcome back. Today's lesson is one of the iconic shoulder lessons of somatic education, if you like to call it like that. And if I may make a suggestion, take a hard floor and a cozy blanket. So a cozy, nice blanket will be best to slide upon because we need to be able to slide today, to be flexibly and be able to slide over the floor. So that's my suggestion for the setup. And then please come into side lying. I will do it on my left side. So that's how I'm going to describe the movements. If you have already done the lesson on your left side and you need to do it on your right side, or you want to do it on the right side because your right shoulder is better than your left shoulder, please translate the movements by yourself. So I will explain the sequence. Come to ease, come to rest onto your left side with your legs on top of each other, slightly bent, and the left arm, this time we won't have the left arm in front, but that's first on my YouTube channel, to have the left arm up from your perspective upwards, resting on the floor, so you can rest your head on the left arm. My God, is this possible? Can you rest your head on your arm? So take care of your shoulder, and the right hand, take care. Yeah, how do you take care of your shoulder? Maybe prop something under, or don't put it like, make yourself comfortable. Find a way to do this that's comfortable. Comfort first. And the right hand in front of your chest, and the question, of course, where do you have your fingers? Should they point forwards or should they point upwards? Where is a good position for your hand, just to rest your hand, or to be able to give yourself support with the hand actually, so you could push the floor with your hand. And yes, rest the head. So that's our starting position. And just take a moment to arrive in this position. And what do we do next? So we will have a first movement, of course. A first movement. So before the first movement, just become aware of how your head is resting on your left forearm, no, on your left upper arm, on the biceps. Where is your left cheek, your left ear? How do you rest your head onto your arm? So how much do you have to hold your head? How much do you have to hold your position? Get aware of the tension you're having, of the strategies you're using to actually be in that position, because if you would let go of your neck muscles, would your head roll forwards and your nose drive into the floor, or would your head fall backwards with the back of the head coming to rest? Or is your head perfectly balanced on top of your upper arm? So can you feel that? And yes, just and how you rest, where your right hand is standing. How you're breathing against the floor with the ribs on your left side. Because yes, the left side is a little bit longer now than the right side. You try to make the left side longer to distribute your body weight over your left side. The ribs, how many ribs are on the left side? I think there's 12 pairs of ribs. How many are touching the floor? And how's your elbow touching the floor? And these kind of things. What do you become aware of? And then the first movement is to roll your the left arm, yes, the one you're resting on. And how can you roll your arm when the head is resting on top of your arm? How to roll the left arm, how to roll your left arm when the head is resting. So roll the head together with the arm. So when you roll your arm, what is it? Oh, inwards. When you roll the arm inwards, the palm of your left hand is starting to face to the floor, and the nose is starting to face to the floor. And when you roll your left arm outwards, the palm of your left hand is starting to face the ceiling, and the back of your head is starting to come closer to the floor. So we can start this as a very small, simple movement. Maybe not simple, maybe complex, complicated, but a small movement, a small rotation of your left arm. And just like I'm doing, you can lift your head if you like. You can even use your right hand to help roll your left arm to improve the sensation, the control, fine motor control of your left arm, how you roll your left arm like a dough, but kneading bread, but slowly, carefully, lovingly. Why not lovingly? That could be nice. It's your arm, your friend, your ally. So roll your arm or roll your head resting on your arm. And continue with the observation we started with. Just be aware of how much you displace your head when you're resting your head, when you have to hold your head with your neck. And little by little you can make this movement bigger until your head is resting in front of your arm with your forehead, maybe resting on the floor, or you turn your arm until the back of your head is lying behind your arm. So you make the movement bigger and bigger. You start with small and make it bigger and bigger. So this movement sequence is so nice because it's just a series of movements. It's just very simple. So you roll the arm, you roll your head, you go backwards and forwards. And whenever you want to take a rest, you rest. You breathe. You are like being present. It's like a meditation of being aware, but with movement. And the movement should not disturb, but the movement apart, like the whole world is moving through space to begin with. Movement is part of being. Okay, but let's do a second movement. So this is the first exploration. The second exploration, bend your left elbow. So when you bend your left elbow, your left hand will start to point. That's an important thing for babies, to point. What is this? What is this? You point, but where can you point? Where can you reach with your left palm? Where can you reach? Where can you massage? Can you reach your right ear? Can you reach your nose with your left hand? Can you reach the back of your head or your neck? And while you're there, you can scratch your back. Or you can maybe reach your right shoulder. And yeah, which areas can you come to with the fingers? Which finger? The left pointer finger or the left pinky finger? And how much do you have to slide your elbow? So you can slide your elbow. It's not a strict requirement to have your upper arm pointing upwards, but you can move your arm a little bit you can slide your, so this is why we have the blanket, so we can slide, you can slide around with your left hand, so you can reach your forehead, you can reach your face, you can reach the right side, as long as it's the left hand. You can see, if you would have sunscreen on your fingers and you would put sunscreen on your neck, which areas would be protected and which areas would have a sunburn. So where can you go, where can you not go, where can you reach? And if you do this slowly enough and gently enough, you will, first of all, it's nice, it feels nice, and second of all, the areas where you can reach will become more, so the range of movement will increase a little bit, not by stretching, just because you're doing this exploration of where can you go. Just take a rest. So maybe the first step was the setting of the setting, the the important part, the awareness part of this lesson, and then just rest on your upper arm. Ooh. Oh, I think my upper arm can rest a little bit more on the floor already. It's more flat on the floor. Let's do, before we take a rest on the back, let's do a third movement. So bend your left elbow again, and with your right hand reach for your left hand, and with your right hand get hold of your left ankle. So we have this packet here, and the head is resting on your left upper arm, and then start to lift your left elbow. So you start to lift your head, and you can use your right hand to pull on your left hand, and you can use your left arm to lift your head, like everything together. Yeah. Does it come up? And does it, maybe you can help with your right hand wherever to lift your head. Maybe you need to help with your pelvis, to tilt your pelvis a little bit, the right side of your pelvis, tilt your right trochanter, your right hip joint closer to your right shoulders, to shorten your right side further, to lengthen your left side longer, further, until, yeah, so you can press with your left side against the floor. Maybe if you breathe out, in and out, and then maybe your left elbow comes up, and maybe your left shoulder can come up, and you can kind of lengthen your left side and shorten your right side. And how far do you flex? How far are you bent forwards when you do this? Or are you extended? Are you extended backwards a little bit when you do this? Or are you like super straight up when you do this? And do you twist when you lift your left elbow? So we had this in sitting, and now we're doing this in side lying. And of course it will improve how we sit, and it will improve how we walk and how we stand and how we come from kneeling to standing, and it will improve a lot of things, provided you do it slowly enough and gently enough. So let's have a first rest already on the back to give the left arm a rest. So please come to roll onto your back. You're welcome. I make you asymmetrical again. Finally, asymmetry, palatable. Becoming aware of being asymmetrical of the left shoulder is so different than the right shoulder, or maybe the left side strangely I discover, so I'm sharing my discoveries, I discovered that I can side bend to the left easier than to the right. Even though we have been lengthening the left side can shorten easier. Talking about paradox. Stranger things in a good way. So we give the left arm, the left shoulder a little rest. And whenever you're ready, please come back onto your left side. So we're doing the complete sequence on the left side. So we have a good contrast. Contrast, that's important. Important thing for our brain. Our brain is a contrast detecting device, maybe amongst many other things. But to make the contrast stronger between the left side and the right side. So please rest again on your left upper arm, on your left arm. Maybe let's do a reference movement. Roll your arm and see how well it rolls, and roll your head with your arm to see how well that works now on the second attempt of doing this. Okay, so the next movement, please bend your left elbow, but keep your forearm on the ground. Bend the arm in front of you. So bend your left elbow and slide or drag your left elbow closer to your belly, but keep your hand on the floor. So in order to do that, the head needs to drop to the floor. So to bend the left elbow and pull the left elbow closer to the belly in front of you. That's the movement. And that's why we need the blanket and the hard floor, so it can slide. And then, of course, up again. Slide your arm up again and sneak your arm underneath your head. That's a small little, nice little movement. And then, of course, production number 2, do the same thing again. And you notice, what do you notice when you observe this movement? So you can notice your left side shortens. Before we lengthen it, and your left side, when you shorten your left side, it's easier to pull the elbow. Is it? Am I telling the truth or not? Yeah, and continue to do that. See what you discover, what you can become aware of, how you can improve the movement. And the next time your head is resting on your arm, keep it there. We take a short break on the side. And then do the same thing, but backwards. So you bend your left elbow, but you pull your left elbow backwards. But we don't know what is behind there. What is there behind? Drag the left elbow backwards towards. What is there? The behind? The buttocks? What is there? The lower back? So when you roll your arm, keep in mind the arm can roll, and you bend your elbow, and then you can drag the elbow downwards. and upwards again. So you start the movement, like the first movement, to roll the arm inwards and let the forehead come closer to the floor. And once your arm is free behind your head, you bend your left elbow and drag the elbow downwards. Until it doesn't go any further, and then up again. And breathe and be relaxed at the same time as you move, and see what is this kind of movement. So we start with the arm straight up, and then we pull the elbow forwards until it doesn't go any further, and then we pull the elbow backwards until it doesn't go any further. And soon enough you will have a feeling for this movement, and then of course we can combine these directions, but we have to go in one direction. So let's start together. Come to lie on your left side, rest your head on your left arm, and then start by bending your left elbow and pull your elbow towards your belly, left elbow towards your belly, and then introduce your left elbow underneath your left side, and like there's a little bridge. Especially if you, for example, you can use your right leg. If you lengthen your right leg, you can make this little bridge. You can side bend your left side more, make a little tunnel, and sneak in your left elbow in this tunnel, and go back and forth and use your blanket, your sliding blanket, until it's easy enough so you can introduce your arm. Oops, and where is the arm? Where did your arm go? Where is the arm? Where did the arm disappear? And then bring it back. Wait, there is the arm. Then bring the arm under the bridge again, and then where is the arm? The arm disappeared, there's no more arm. And then slide your hand first through the bridge, and there's the arm again. And up into your starting position. And follow this movement, and soon enough you will notice you can make a circle, an arm circle with the arm. Yeah, did this work? Did this work out? So after you did it one time, then do it another time, and each time refine the movements a bit. Make them smoother, see where it's difficult, why is it difficult, where do you have to bend, how do you have to use your pelvis, how do you have to use your breath, where can you place your right hand, how can your right hand support the movement of your left arm. So how can you make this movement smoother, easier, where can you find connections in yourself, maybe even your feet can kind of, how you hold your feet, how you hold your toes, how you hold your jaw, how you roll your head, when you roll your head, where you're looking at, all these things come together and help you to make this movement smoother and easier. And of course, we can do this movement in both directions. So you can start with bringing the arm forwards and then backwards, or you start with bringing the arm backwards and then forwards. And you probably discover it's easier when you roll your arm, when you allow your arm to roll, when you allow everything, when you allow your whole self to participate in this movement. Don't leave anything behind, let everything participate. And you will discover the tricks, you will discover what you need to do. One trick is side bending. One trick is to use the pelvis. One trick is to lengthen your leg or to shorten your leg. One trick is to use your neck. To find all these connections. And then please, at some point, come to lie onto your back again, and let's take a break on the back. Wow, so tempting to do it on the other side, isn't it? But let's stay with the left side. And it's a pretty simple, straightforward lesson, isn't it? Let's add one more thing to it, and then it's complete for one side. So please come back onto your... That's really asymmetrical now. The left side is so much more soft and pliable. It's really nice. Okay, and then come onto your left side and rest your head on your arm. Actually, for me, this is the easier side to do this lesson. I should do it on the right side. But for the video, of course, the light is better on this side, and my living room setup is just like this, that it's easier for me to do the left side first. But I should do it on the right side. I will do it. Okay, so what's the last movement? The right arm. What should we do with the right arm? Should we use the right arm to push the floor? Or shouldn't we use the right arm as a counter? Like if we are a helicopter and the left arm and the right arm are our air blades, they could connect the arms, and the right arm would be, like in a helicopter, always in the opposite direction of your left arm. So see if you can oppose those two, the left arm and the right arm. So you would start with the left arm up and the right arm down, and then what would you do? When you bring the left arm forwards, you bring the right arm back proportionally, or if you bring the left arm back, you bring the right arm forwards. And start the engine, please. but go slow enough, and let your head roll, and let your pelvis roll, and side bend, and use everything like before. Wow. Soon the floor will be so clean. And then, is that enough? Is that enough? I'm already on my back, so take your time, explore as much as you like. This could be one of my shorter videos, or if it's, how much do we have? Not even 30 minutes. Let's do it on the other side, huh? So come to lie on your back, just to take a short break, and then let's do it together on the other side. So, and we haven't done that for a long time, haven't we? So, please lie on your right side with your legs bent and the head. So I need to move a little bit like this, and your head resting on your right arm. This is going to happen. This is happening now. We're doing it on the other side together. Okay, so what was the first thing? The first thing was to notice and become aware of how you rest your head and how much you hold your neck. Or see, I put my left arm behind so I can balance my head better. If I would have my left arm in front, I would tend to roll forwards. But how is it for you? What is your tendency? Where do you have to put your left arm to support this position? Yes, we always use ourselves to support what we're doing at the moment. So that's maybe the philosophy part of this lesson. Okay, so resting, starting position with the right arm up, and then first movement is to roll the right arm forwards and backwards. And maybe help with the left arm to roll the right arm. How much extension, how much flexion, how much side bending, how much of a twist, where is the twist? Twist should not be in the lower back. And then next movement, bend the right elbow and use your right hand to see where can you reach, where can you scratch yourself, where can your right finger, the right palm travel to your left ear, to your left cheek. Can you poke into don't poke into your left eye. But you could clean your left ear with your, maybe with the right pinky finger, but you can pull your earlobe. No, don't stick your fingers in your ear. Pull your earlobe, yes. And then what else? Where can you reach with your right hand? Where can you put sunscreen on your back? Okay, and then what is the next movement? Of course, the next movement is with your left hand. You take hold of your right hand and then help to side bend, help to lengthen your right side. And you will lengthen the right side by pushing the ribs of the right side into the floor. And you can help with your pelvis. Same thing, use everything you got to help. You could even lift your left foot. Help with everything to lengthen your right side and to shorten your left side. And where do you look to? How do you use your eyes? Is your jaw relaxed? Are you breathing through your nose? And these kind of things. And then let's take a break on the back. I Oh. So this was not English. I and U is not English, is it? But they're English letters. I, I and U. And oomph. So how do you feel on your back? Is the right side easier to shorten now and the left side easier to lengthen? So let's continue. Please come back onto your right side with the right arm extended up and your head resting on your right upper arm. And the legs slightly bent and the left hand maybe supporting yourself. Put the left hand on the floor in front of you and then start to bend your right elbow and slide your right elbow towards your belly and keep your right hand close to the floor. So your head drops and see, yes, if you shorten your right side helps by shortening. And you can lift the ribs of your right side away from the floor and make this little tunnel. If you like, you can already go round, or you try the other side first, or you do the same movement a couple of times. So I guess this is to your benefit. This is most beneficial to do the same movements a couple of times, the same movement a couple of times until the movement becomes to grow a movement pattern. Yeah. Maybe we need like 4 times for this or 5 times until you have a feeling for this kind of flexion and side bending. And then once you have this, do the other direction, the elbow backwards. Wow, this side is so much easier. I would have never expected it. Okay, and then combine those 2 directions into the arm, arm circles. And then a rest on the back. So the rests are not just for rest, of course, but there's something happening in the rests. So there's improvement, internal improvement work. Things happen after we stop moving. But we need to move first so that things can happen. The integration, like there's something happening in the nervous system. And then to do the last movement in side lying, please come back onto the right side. And we're doing the helicopter again. The helicopter air blades. When the right arm is up, the left arm is down, and keep them in opposite directions. And start the engines, ladies and gentlemen. here. Okay, helicopter movement. So I think, am I still doing the movement? Yes. Zoop. Where am I? Up. And after up, it's down again. Maybe you're more flexible than me and more elegant. I think it's nice. Okay, so and then come back onto the back. To have a last break. Okay, and then traditionally there's more parts to this, there's more to it, and we would take these movements into standing. So maybe we should do this too. So please come up to stand. I'm always pretending like I'm coming up fresh, but actually I had to change the camera, of course. So I'm coming up, I'm up, and then feel how your arms are hanging when you turn. Yes, so that's interesting. When you turn to look to the left, how your the shoulder girdle turns, how your arms are swinging when you look to the left. Yes, and when you look to the right, your arms can go. Where do your helicopter blade arms when you look to the right or when you look up? So you could take one arm up and the other down, and if you remember the movements we did in lying down, how would they look like in standing? So if you use our system, let's imagine we're lying on the right side and you have the right arm up and your head is resting on your right arm. So this would be side lying in lying down, but now we are standing. So that would be our starting position, and then would you bring the elbow, let's do the elbow down in front first. So the elbow down in front first, and the other one up. And where does the head go? Where did the head move? The head was not fixed forward. The head, when you bring the elbow forwards, the head rolled backwards. Right? The head was rolling on the floor, and the chest was responding to the movements of the head. So let's start again. Yes, so remember that everything supported this movement. And there was side bending. And at some point you were sneaking under your elbow to the side. And then you had to turn around and face the floor again. So you would face to the right side to bring the arm up. But where was your face? But of course now the floor is not disturbing the nose anymore, so you could turn the face. So that's the benefit of standing. You can, and the disadvantage of standing, like now we have so much, we can do whatever we like the air. Can you feel the air, how easy it is to push the air away? Before, the floor doesn't yield, but the air is, you can push it, you can push the air with your nose. Huh? You can move your head in any direction. So much freedom. Confusing. And then just stand. Just stand and feel how you stand. So we had standing lessons. I would have never thought I would enjoy standing lessons. Like 5 years ago, unimaginable. But now I enjoy standing. So maybe you do too after my lessons. So I can enjoy the weight. Where is the weight on your feet? Is your pelvis more on your left or your right foot? And then when you turn your head to the left, what is it? What do you become aware of? Or when you turn your head to the right, wow. Maybe this is the meaning of being fully embodied. Right? And then take a few steps. Wow, it's nice, isn't it, to feel the weight on the feet, and how everything can go together. It's like, it's such a simple lesson. You go with the flow. Yes, so my pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the lesson just as much as I enjoyed teaching the lesson. And keep exploring. So just learn the lessons, maybe the movements by a little bit by heart, or you can do the video again and maybe put on some music and try the movements on your own. So when you're, depends on what kind of learner you are. If you, maybe you make discoveries when you're on your own, like a scientist, or maybe you're in a scientist team. So here I am in this video. Or maybe you have other people to share this to, or to try that lesson with. Thank you for watching. Leave your like if you liked the video. Leave your comment if you want to share your experience with others. And see you in the next video.